Well, the start of another week here. What do you think? Huh? Aren't you lucky you don't have to go to work? Aren't you lucky you don't have to go to work? Little foster dog, Rocky, because he's got the patch, I guess. I don't know. I don't ask questions. Rocky, where do you want to live? Do you want to go live in Houston? The weather's better for sure. How about you guys? You ready? Rev, you ready to get rid of this little guy or what? Yeah, he's a little annoying. Hey, aren't puppies fun? Aren't puppies fun? Not. Yeah, we do a little foster thing around the house. Look after pups and dogs and cats, and we don't do cats though. But yeah, so it's a pretty busy place. What do you think, old girl? You tired of having these puppies around, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, she's tired of training puppies up. So, time to go to work. Well, the oil's all good. They're all done there. We'll check the tires and everything in a minute here. Let's do a true cold start here. Ooh, yeah, she's chilly in here. Definitely gonna have some low air probably. Yeah, that's just low. Here's my air gauges. Just low. Alright, here we go. As my favorite garage show, Vice Grip Garage says, bring the thunder. Morning. Well, that means there's no wind. When all that condensation is going straight up in the air and it's big and fluffy like that, that also means it's freezing cold. So yeah, she's freezing cold. Well, here's what I picked up first little bit. Cardboard crates, and there's a big pump in here. We got some collars here. I only tarped it a little bit because I got all this I got to fill up, and we're down here in Calgary and we're going to fill the rest up. I've already pulled it all out of the shed there. Yeah, she's pretty chilly. Now we got some of this white stuff. I think last week I was bragging about how, hey, we got no snow. Anyway, so yeah, we got some ugly skids here. So I don't know what it's gonna look. Plus we gotta put them crates on, them long ones. So I don't know how it's gonna look, how it's gonna be, but we're gonna do our best. And yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Stay tuned. Well, through the wonders of television, we've got it all on there. So yeah, as you can see, we're gonna have some nice streamers. That's some kind of clean out air suctioning unit or something. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna tarp this stuff back here. Those aren't gonna sit there like that, so I'm gonna figure something out. They got them the wrong way on the pallet. Yeah. Sucker. Who's gonna get up there and throw that tarp on that thing? I don't know. Oh, I know who. We all know who. What we got here? So then, yeah, a little cockeyed here, but I'll straighten that out a little bit. Got it on here. But I should tarp up that stuff because, as you can see, it's just gonna be floating behind me like crazy. Or I bought a new roll of duct tape. Maybe I can tape that all up. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let's see how it looks. Back at her. Well, I got snot everywhere. I don't know if you can tell. Frozen beard syndrome. But we got her on. We got it on here. Let's go take a look. Here it is. Like I said, doesn't need to be tarped, but I'm just tarping as much as I can here with the one tarp to keep the shrink wrap in. Every once in a while, you ever get a load where you kind of second guess your business decisions in your life, you know? Just kidding. I'm a big jokester. Anyway, there it is. Hopefully that should hold everything in together. All this stuff back here, it's not shrink wrapped too bad, so it should stay on there. Mind you, this stuff's gonna float around a little bit, so we might have to fart around with that a bit, but oh, sorry, sun's in your eyes maybe. It's definitely in mine. But yeah, there you go. We won't stick out at all today. DOT won't want to take a look at us at all today. That's what we got. What do I got here? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drops in Houston. I'm going to do them all, and I'm probably going to do them all on Tuesday, because that's probably what time I'm going to get there. So, hope everybody's having a great weekend. It's going to be a nice one. It's just a little chilly this morning. Get after it. Let's see what's up the rest of the way. Got the coffee ready. Oh, man. I don't know what arthritis feels like, but just the last months, my hands have just been... just this one hand. And no, it's not been beating on anybody. It's been just been working. I might have strained it or sprained it or something, but it's... what does arthritis feel like? Like it's right here in the knuckles. And I can't make a fist, and you can't touch it, and it's got 0 strength. So if anybody wanted a shot at the title, now's the time, because I'm a little sore and stiff. So and anyway, had a couple days off. Went and hung out the house, saw some people, saw some family. Dad. It was good. Weather was beautiful. But now we're back at it. We missed Tuesday's freight day. There wasn't enough, and my hours weren't, I didn't have enough hours to spin, turn and burn anyway. So yesterday was Friday, loaded up a little bit in Leduc like you saw, and then down to Calgary like you saw, and now I'm here, and I'm just waiting for the little ELD box here to say I can go. But yeah, heading down to Texas, 7 drops. Willis, Conroe, Houston, Katy, Stafford, all in there. And then of course, that's going to take a day because Houston is just so huge. And this will be the first time doing that. I haven't, you know, we go down to Houston, take a little bit here and there, but mainly we go into Midland, Odessa and drop, or Dallas and drop. But it's always on the outskirts. We never go right into the town. So this one will be my first full bunch of drops into Houston. So unfortunately, it takes so long to get there. Like it's a good 37 hours if you're honking on it to get there. So then I'll be delivering Tuesday, but then unless, well, I can hit Saskatchewan. If they load me Tuesday for Saskatchewan out of Houston, I can hit that by Friday, but I can't hit can't hit Alberta. So we'll see what they do. Anyway, I'm just talking like you guys know what I'm doing. You guys probably have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just talking about going here and there and everywhere. And go back and watch some videos and you'll see some pretty cool equipment getting moved. Go way back to the beginning. It's pretty cool. Nice to go back and see just all the stuff that I've hauled, all the freight. And that's kind of why I did this too. Is just to see how things have gone through the years, and plus so my family can see what I do. Anyway, let's talk about side hustles. It's time to go. Everybody now calls it a side hustle. Back in my day, we just called it part-time job. You know, I hear people nowadays saying, oh, I'm broke, I got no money, you know, got this. Oh, you know, we say it too with groceries and stuff, but if you know, when I was growing up and when your parents were growing up and my parents were growing up, it was never really thought of having, oh, we didn't have a lot of money, you just went out and got it. Right? If you needed more money to pay your bills, you just went and got another job or an extra job to help pay the bills. Like, I'm sure everybody that has had a mom or a dad, and you know, that's everybody, has talked to them a little bit. Back in my day, you know, when I was growing up, you know, they've all given you stories on the cars they've had and the jobs they've had and how they got to where they are. And if you haven't talked to your parents about that, then you should, because it's really interesting stuff. And your grandparents. And it's really neat to see the thought patterns through all the different generations. Really neat. You know, so like my parents, when they were growing up, if they needed extra cash, you know, Dad just went and got a part-time job, and Mom, she started up at, you know, what do you call it? She was a stay-at-home mom, so she would just take some more kids in. You know, babysit kids for money at our house. Dad would go get a part-time job, you know, and one time, you know, they said when they were getting together and they were together, married and starting their life together, and some little snotty kid came along, you know, they were caretakers in their apartment building. Plus his job, plus she looked after kids, because then they also got breaks on the rent and stuff like that. So that's, back then, you know, they just called it,
fasten seatbelt.
I got it on, honey. Back then they call it just doing whatever it takes to pay the bills, right? Now everybody calls it a side hustle. But you know, so what was your side hustle when you were growing up, or your part-time job? You know, when we first had kids, I would go and one time there I had a full-time job dispatching, trucking. Full-time job Monday to Friday. Well, we needed a little extra cash because, you know, we wanted a vehicle. I needed a vehicle. So for Mama, so we got her a vehicle. Well, we had a payment because we didn't have much money. So now we needed to find a job to pay that payment, because my full-time job, all the bills went to the house and everything else, right? Well, there's no pride here. I would get up at 3 in the morning and go and deliver papers. In Calgary, Alberta. We lived in Calgary to start. Yeah, I'd go deliver papers from 3 till 7 and then go to my full-time dispatching job. And work all day there doing dispatching and sales. And then of course go home and then, yeah, you get up and do it the same day, the same thing. So I did that, well, for only about a month. I did it 7 days a week. But then that just, it wore on you, and the money really wasn't all that good. But it got us over a little hump that we needed. So then I cut back and I said I only want to do Monday to Friday with the papers. I needed my Saturday, Sunday to recoup, but then I did that, and then it's like, well, it's really not cutting it. Well, I said, I got Saturday, Sunday. I mean, if I can find something that's not too strenuous, you know, I didn't want to do the papers. It's just not worth the time. But Monday to Friday, it was okay. And I had my class 1. And I had the full-time dispatching job. And the company was just growing. So, you know, I couldn't get paid. I couldn't ask for more money. I tried, but, you know, there wasn't more money to give because the company was just starting to grow. The company was just starting to grow, like I said, and so there, you know, there wasn't much there to give. So then you go looking and found a job on the weekends driving truck. So what I would do is I would do papers in the morning, dispatching during the day, go home Monday to Friday, and then Friday night after dispatching, I would go to this carrier, and they did a lot of groceries and stuff to the interior of British Columbia, out of Calgary. So then I would go there, and I would be a company driver and hop into their truck and go load up some groceries and cigarettes and all this and do the milk run. So then I would go and deliver to small towns in British Columbia, you know, just like you see, you back up to the door and you got a ramp, and you would deliver the groceries to mom and pop grocery stores or their cigarettes and stuff. And that would take me 2 days. Saturday, Sunday, I'd be on my way home Sunday, get home Sunday afternoon, visit the family, and get up and do it again. And that got us over that other hump. So I did that for a good 6 months, all of that together. Got a little tiring, got rid of the paper route, still kept driving on the weekends. And you just do whatever it takes, right? You know, yeah, if you needed more money, you just went and found a way to get more money. If you like the job you're at, and you like what you're doing, but it's Monday to Friday, there's a lot of hours where you're sitting there watching TV or playing on your phone that you could be more productive and go get a job or do something else to make money, right? Like if your weekends are free and you're complaining about money, get out there. Even as a truck driver. If you're working Monday to Friday as a company driver and the money's just not there, go to another company on the weekends. There's lots of companies out there that work over the weekend. Lots of refrigeration companies, reefers. There's a lot of stuff that happens at night and on the weekends that nobody sees because they're off doing their own thing, right? So I really, unless you're totally gibbled or bent out of shape, I don't understand the whole, well, I don't make enough money, we can't do this, can't do that. There's money out there, you just got to go get it. You got to figure a way to go get it. And it also might not be the most glamorous of jobs. And it doesn't have to be. Who are you trying to impress? You should be trying to impress yourself. I mean, my wife, she took in kids. Extra money for, you know, some women had a job and some families couldn't afford to not have both working. So they needed a day home. So my wife started a day home. And I tell you what, that is a hard job. Yeah, you can wear your pajamas all day, big deal. But you women that had a day home and you're out there wiping other kids' butts and changing poopy diapers from kids that you would never change poopy diapers for if you saw them in a park, good on you. It's amazing what we do for money. Everybody's got to work together in the house, right? All I'm saying is that if you're complaining about money and you're not making your bills, you're not, there's definitely got to be some avenues that you haven't exhausted yet. And you don't have to do it all for full time. You just do it to get you over the hump. You do it until the fuel drops down. You do it until maybe our economies level out or something. And I'm sure there's plenty of single moms and dads that have done whatever it takes just to keep food on the table, and you still hear about it, right? But you got to do whatever it takes. If that's what you want, you can't just sit there and complain. Get out there and get it. And I got one more part-time job story before you. Just, it's more of a stupid one. But Calgary and Red Deer, so where I live now is Red Deer. That's where I grew up. It's 98 miles, or about 140 kilometers from Calgary. I got a job in Red Deer. I went away to BC for a little bit, got homesick, came home, had to find a job. My dad got me a job at the pipe plant in Red Deer. It's called IPSCO, back in the day. Working in the production, working in the mill. Terrible job. Anybody that's done production work in a mill or in a plant, hats off to you, because that production work in plants is, in a lot of places, is just, it's mind-numbing, and it's just hard on a person. But then again, if you can stick it out, most of the time they have great benefits and great pensions and stuff, right? Anyway, so I got a job there, and of course, being the young guy and being a new guy, all I could get was the midnight shift on weekends. I'll take it. Because back then it was paying, I think it was paying 30 bucks an hour. And 30 bucks an hour for, what is that, 23, 24-year-old kid back in 1995 was pretty good. I think that's when it was, anyway. So I did that, and then I got a call from a family friend. He had a trucking company. Might have been 94. Anyway, the dates don't matter. He said, come on up here, I hear you're back in town, come back down to work with us down here in Calgary. Teach you all about the trucking business. And I was like, oh, I really want to do that, but I couldn't afford to, because of course they couldn't pay me very much in Calgary, right? And I said, well, what hours? And he said, well, Monday to Friday. I said I could do that, I just got to come in Monday a little later. Is that all right? Yeah, that'll be fine. So I didn't even tell him I was living in Red Deer. I just said I need to come in. If it's all right, I'll be in for 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock on Monday, and then every other day I'll be in at 8 o'clock, Tuesday to Friday. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So that's what I did. But I didn't tell him that I had this other job on the weekends, midnights, at the pipe place at IPSCO. load's actually riding not too bad. I guess the good thing is I can hardly see it, so we probably got stuff floating all behind us. Just keep going, tunnel vision, don't look back. Anyway, so then I didn't tell IPSCO that I had a part-time job. Well, I guess they're both full-time jobs, because IPSCO was 10-hour shifts, 4 days a week. So what was it? It was Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. No, I only did 3 days. That's right, because they needed somebody just on the weekends. Because how it worked was then I'd work the weekend midnight shift, and when I was done Monday morning, it was 12s. That's what it was. It was 12-hour shifts, 7 to 7. So I'd get off 7 a.m. after working the midnight shift in Red Deer. I'd get in my 1965 Ford half-ton and I'd drive to Calgary and go to work for the trucking company, working in the yard, working in the shop, pulling wrenches. And I worked there, and I found a place to stay in Calgary with one of the salesmen. I ended up moving in with him from Monday to Friday. And then Friday, that was a tough one, because Friday I'd work all day at the trucking company, drive back to Red Deer, have a little nap, and get in for my midnight shift at 7 a.m. Friday night. I worked Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, well, into Monday. And that's just what you did. And you know what? I did that for about 6 months as well, and I was a zombie. It was terrible. I made some good money, had some really good money. I was able to buy another vehicle. But then the trucking company came and offered me a position in the office dispatching. And of course it was more money, so then I was able to get rid of the job in the pipe mill at IPSCO. So then I ended up moving to Calgary. Because of course in Red Deer I lived at home with the parents when I worked there on the weekend. So I moved to Calgary, blah, 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 you know. And you just did whatever had to be done. So if you're out there complaining about not making enough money, you just got to do what has to be done. And maybe you maybe you aren't doing that yet. You might feel like you're tapped out, but there's a lot of time out there that you're doing nothing that could be used productively. So even if you're trucking Monday to Friday, and you get your 70 hours in, there's always another trucking company maybe doing a different section of the industry, refrigerated, maybe dump trucks on the weekend, maybe garbage trucks over the weekend. You can go work for those guys on the weekend. You can work those hours. There's nothing holding you back from doing that. There's no rules that say if you put in 70 hours a week for this company, that once you're done, you can't go work for another company on their ELD and work the weekend. There's nothing that says you can't do that. So anyway, I'm just saying, you know, just kind of, if you're a young fella or a young lady just struggling to make it, just look at how you're managing your time. Is there any time that you can give to go and find that money, go and make extra money? You're going to learn new skills, you're going to learn new things about something you get in another industry. I got no time is no excuse. Have a good weekend. Bye for now.